Hi, it's Jessica here from Fox's Blog Knits. Thank you so much for joining me today from beautiful Northland in New Zealand. I wanted to share another finished object with you that I actually finished the beginning of June, I think it was. It was a little while ago now, but you know, I've only just started this thing and I wanted to share it with you anyway. It's one of my favourite sweaters that I've made, which I am wearing at the moment. It's the balloon sweater by Petite Knit, and yes, it's another Petite Knit. After I had such a good experience with the previous sweater, I ended up buying a few more of her patterns. So I don't know if you find that when you have a designer that you enjoy the pattern design from, that you tend to get a couple of them, and then it introduces you to new people, and it goes on, and so we go. So that's what I did. So the balloon sweater is marked as a 5 out of 5 difficulty on her website, and that to me was a little bit daunting, but I really loved this sweater and I really wanted to make a go of it. Before I ventured into this, I had done a few other things first using the techniques that I knew were required of this pattern, such as raglan increase, left leaning and right leaning increases, and a few other things that I knew I would need to use. This pattern used techniques that I hadn't used before at the time, so German short rows and the Italian cast on. I had done the bind off before with other garments because of doing the bind off around the hem and that kind of thing, but never the actual cast on with the neck. And I had read, that's my dog, Jasper, he's outside there. You'll get used to him. So the Italian cast on is great because you have a bindy cast on, and I had read in the comments from other people that they really wished that they had done that and it wasn't, and I needed to make it that way, so that's what I did. I didn't make the neck as long as it needed to be. I felt that it would have been a little bit too, full on, so I made it shorter. I actually ended up making all of my increases and shoulder increases and frogged right back to the beginning of the neckband, purely because they felt a little bit tight. They didn't look like they were going to fall nicely. The sleeves got a beautiful drop on it, and at the time it was only coming up to here, so I redid them, did them all loosely, like the pattern had said, even though I'd done them really loosely, but I'm really glad that I did. I did them a little bit looser than I probably would have done normally, so that was fine. In the end, everything dropped beautifully with the pattern and it was all fine. Once you added the sleeves, you picked up all of the sleeves and everything like that, and everything just kind of relaxed into itself. It was quite amazing. So that was the only thing that I probably changed, aside from picking up more stitches around the sleeve. I knew that you needed to pick up every third or 2 out of 3 stitches, so I had calculated how many stitches that would be for my size, and I wanted to pick up the right amount of stitches, which meant that I had, I think, about an extra bit on the sleeve, but because it's such a large sleeved garment, it didn't really make a difference. It just added to the design. So that was that. So the yarn that I used for this one was double held, like most of her Petite Knit patterns are. The main one was a 4-ply fingering weight, 100% merino, non-superwash, and this one's actually non-dyed. I bought this direct from Wild Earth Yarns? Wild Earth Yarns. If it's not Wild Earth Yarns, I do apologise, and I'll put the link below anyhow to the correct place. So this is a really nice, soft and smooth merino, New Zealand made merino, and it smells like sheep, which I really like. And I mixed that with, of course, Fibre Spates Cumulus. Again, this is a beautiful neutral called Pearl, and it is so soft and fluffy. And if you haven't ever come across this, it is a baby Suri alpaca blend with silk, it's 25% silk and 75% or thereabouts alpaca, and it is really beautiful, and you can see that it's quite a different colour together, which I wasn't sure how they would blend. You know, they're quite different, but they actually blended really beautifully and created this amazing champagne colour that I really like. So I think that the colour of the pearl warmed the tone of the cream, so it wasn't as washy outy on my skin tone. So that was great. It was a really nice pattern to make, and I think 2.5 weeks I think is what it ended up taking me. And I have worn this jumper so much. I wear it all the time. It doesn't really fit into jackets, but I don't care because it's so warm. It's alpaca and merino. It is a really beautifully made and draped jumper with a very fine knit, and I really like a fine knit. I think that they suit me more. I prefer to knit them. I know that they take forever, more so than bulky or worsted, but I really just prefer the finished product that I have with this, and every time I make something it's always really satisfying because it's taken that long. But yeah, that's what I've been making. What else can I tell you about this? I didn't block it initially, and then I did do a wet block when I washed it, and it did grow a little bit in the sleeves, the length of the sleeves, and unfortunately the width of the body a little bit, and I did lose a little bit of the definition and the shape at the hem. But I'm hoping that the next time that I wash this very carefully by hand, nowhere near a machine, I'm really hoping that that will just sneak in a little bit, and I'll make sure that I lay it all out properly and do that there. So yeah. So let me know if you've had a go at making this sweater, or if you felt like it was too intimidating and you want to do it and now you feel confident. Let me know, because that's the goal, isn't it, you know? So thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye. My dog is now looking for the cat that started the fight outside. This is Jasper. He has zero interest in what I'm doing at the moment, and he just wants to chase the neighbour's cat.